This is Any Given Thursday by Chat Sports. I am Chase Senior. He is Harrison Graham. Give me a follow on Twitter at Chase_Senior to talk all things NBA as well as the NFL. And be sure to give my cohort, Harrison Graham, a follow as well at HGrahamNFL, but of course he likes to chop it up and talk some NBA as well. Here's what we have cooking up on today's shows. We go live on Any Given Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific, every single Thursday on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. We're getting into some Los Angeles Lakers news and rumors, and a concern that we had for this team going into the season, their age, and the age then leading to injury issues. And already, the Lakers injury report is pretty long right now with the NBA preseason wrapping up. Wayne Ellington out for a little while with a hamstring strain. Talen Horton-Tucker out indefinitely because he underwent thumb surgery. Trevor Ariza is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks according to Lakers doctors because he underwent ankle surgery. Malik Monk out for a little while because of a groin strain. And then Kendrick Nunn out right now because of a right ankle sprain. I want to bring in my guy Harrison Graham, because we've talked so much about the Lakers, especially on the Lakers report. Any concerns with these injuries happening right now? Because it's probably the best that they are happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's better now than later, but what was all the chatter coming into the season? Would this team be able to hold up? And now, none of these are really major injuries early on in the season, but what you don't want is for these to pile up, right? Like, you're already talking about 5 guys being banged up before the season even goes, and Trevor Ariza is out 6 to 8 weeks.
That's
so you're not going to see him for a while.
He could have started.
Yeah, it's possible he could have started. He definitely would have had a role. You've got, some of these guys are young guys too. Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, like you mentioned. THT had surgery. He's, out 4 to 6 weeks, something like that?
Yeah.
Wayne Ellington's not the oldest guy in the world. So we were concerned about all of the old guys, or at least that was kind of the notion across the league. They're too old. Well, really, a lot of the young guys are getting injured as well, and that's not the best sign. None of it's major, which is a good thing, but you don't want to go into opening night down 5 dudes already. That's not a great situation.
I think, Frank Vogel had said a couple days ago, it's early, we're not concerned right now, but anytime you're without significant playmakers and contributors to your roster in an Ellington, a THT, and a Ariza, a Malik Monk, as well as a Kendrick Nunn, you have to be a little bit concerned, especially on top of the fact that this roster skews a little bit older. But as long as they are healthy at the end of the year, Harrison, regular season and the playoffs, I think this Lakers team is going to be able to make a deep run. That is why they are one of the title favorites. So we voiced our opinions about our worries about the Lakers, and coming up, we're going to talk about how a youngster on this roster has been lighting it up. But let me know right now, are you worried about the Lakers injuries? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And off the top, I did mention that we do a lot of work here on the Lakers Report. Subscribe to the channel because we're almost at 40,000 subscribers, one of the largest Lakers news and rumors channels out there on YouTube. Free videos, hitting you with the latest news and rumors. So go to youtube.com/LakersTV or hit that red subscribe button down below. Now, there are some young players on this roster. Now, Talen Horton-Tucker, he's injured because of that thumb injury. Outside of him, Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn, there aren't a lot of young pieces on this roster, Harrison, but there is one who's surprising a lot of people and catching the attention of Rajon Rondo as well as LeBron James. That is undrafted rookie out of Oklahoma, Austin Reaves, who's been turning heads, signed a 2-way deal with Los Angeles. And the Lakers, Harrison, I think, could really use a young and affordable shooter because they just don't have a lot of money. He also has some pretty good size to him, too.
I'm very familiar with Austin Reaves. You can trust me on that one. We called him the TCU killer in the Big 12, where I went to college, because he always would light up the Horned Frogs. But look, his skill set is this, Chase. He's like 6'4", 6'5", so he's a big guard. He can handle, he can dish, he can shoot. The efficiency wasn't always great in college, neither was the decision-making, but the skill set is there. He has an NBA body to play the 1 or the 2 guard. I think he proved in Summer League, because initially he wasn't on a 2-way, I don't believe, and then they promoted him to getting a 2-way deal, that he's shown this team a little bit of something. So I think he's got a chance to maybe be on that active 15-man roster and not spend a lot of time in the G League, and maybe he is the Alex Caruso replacement long-term, if not right away as a rookie.
And because he signed that two-way contract, it's not like it's a guarantee that Austin Reaves is going to be on the team. But as I mentioned, they could certainly use him. And what a last several months it's been for Austin Reaves.
Yeah.
He's playing in Norman, Oklahoma for the Oklahoma Sooners and really is their primary bucket getter. Doesn't get drafted, goes to Las Vegas, has a pretty damn good summer league, which is why he signed that
game winner.
That two-way deal with Los Angeles. And then the other night in NBA preseason, he is playing on the floor at the same time as the fifth component of the combination of LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis.
Wow.
What do you think is going through Austin Reaves' head? He's like, I went from not getting drafted to thinking I might have to go play overseas in China, and now I'm playing alongside some of the best players in the history of the league?
Well, here's what he said.
Here's what he said about that. It's crazy. Understandable, Austin. Yeah. For them to trust me enough to look for me and give me opportunities to make plays, it's special, and it just boosts my confidence even more. And how could it not boost his confidence?
And you really see this a lot in the NBA where there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft. So there's a handful of guys every year that go undrafted when they probably should have been drafted, and either they were a 4-year college player and teams didn't want to draft a 22 or 23-year-old, or they're too small, or for whatever the case may be, didn't test well. He's fitting in like a glove.
Yep.
Him signing with a veteran team like LA really is a perfect fit because he gets to learn from dudes that are going to the Hall of Fame very, very soon once they retire from the NBA. So he's fitting in. LeBron seems to like him. If LeBron likes you, you're in. You get the LeBron seal of approval, and you are going to be in good shape. Here's what LeBron had to say. Said, quote, I watched a lot of film on him when we drafted him, actually. I knew right away that he could be an NBA player and play at this level. His size, his shot-making ability, his pick-and-roll play, his passing, high IQ kid, and he's got a lot of dog in him, too, that translates to our game. He has a chance to get some real playing time here, Chase, especially with the injuries that we mentioned early on to Kendrick Nunn, to Malik Monk, to some of these other guys. This is a very fascinating development for executive producer Sam Brown's favorite basketball player of all time, Austin Reaves. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and just the roster construction. Like, what was one of the main focuses for Los Angeles during free agency once they made that trade for Russell Westbrook? You have LeBron, who's really just an okay three-point shooter. Russell Westbrook, not a good three-point shooter. He's just not efficient there. AD, pretty solid for a big man. But outside of those 3 guys, they didn't have a lot of shooters. But what did they do by going after Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, some of the other players who they signed, Carmelo Anthony, who shot 40% from distance last year? They made it a priority to bring in some three-point shooters, and then with Austin Reaves, they're making it a priority as well to bring him in as an affordable piece, because by signing him to a 2-way deal, he's basically not making any money at all. So I did like the signing at the time of giving him a chance. They brought him in, they brought in Mac McClung, but Austin Reaves, I think he brings a lot more to the table than a guy like Mac McClung because it's not as limited, and he is certainly valued in today's NBA with his ability to stretch the floor and find twine from deep. So do you think, Laker Nation, that Austin Reaves is going to contribute this year? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. As always, hop on board, join the show, chime in, and sound off in the comment section.